right, Zatima and Sistas fans. Now, there is an article that got released yesterday from thelist.com. Devale Ellis did a very in-depth interview. I'll do a video going over the whole thing at some point, but look, for time's sake, I wanted to do quick videos about 2 or 3 different portions of the actual article because my inbox had been blowing up over the past 24 hours with people, hey, did you know this about Zatima? Here's when it's supposed to come out, and Sistas, is it going to end? Now, remember, I'm going to highlight just one specific thing per video because these are pretty big. Now, this video is going to focus on the possibility that Sistas Season 5 truly is the end. Now, I'm going to read from the article here, and we'll go from there. All right. The interviewer asked, how has the fan reception been for your character, Zach, and for your relationship with Crystal Hazlett's character, Fatima? And Devale goes on to say, it's been crazy because Zach was not supposed to be who Zach is today. Zach was supposed to be the dog, the down and out boyfriend who couldn't get things right. I brought a little bit of levity to his character because I wanted him to be relatable to people, even though he was the guy that was in and out of prison and he was supposed to be the bad boyfriend. I wanted him to at least be charming so that people could get to like him. Now, I can really believe that because I said time and time again, I wasn't that big of a Zach fan in season 1. I did love his scenes with Danny, though, because of the way that he even though people shipped those two together, and I can definitely see why, there was definitely that brother-sister energy there between the two. Okay, now this is the part that has people tripping. Once again, Tyler saw that and he started to write. He told me at the end of season 1 that Zach's character was going to go through an ascension throughout the 5 seasons. I'll go on and read a little bit more, but that one sentence is the highlight. I didn't know it was going to be in another relationship with another woman who was a sister. That was an added caveat that Tyler added once seeing the relationship, but the fans have loved it. It's an opportunity for them to see a guy go from down and out to one of the best. He's gone from in and out of prison to being a multimillionaire buying property. It's the American dream without organized crime, and it's something that we haven't seen on television too often. Now, I guess this possibly means that Sistas will end at season 5. However, I would like to throw, I don't know, another number into the equation here. Devale said at the end of season 1, Tyler mentioned about Zach's ascension throughout the 5 seasons. So I'm wondering if things have changed since then. Look, I'm not trying to sell false hope, but I'm trying to give a different perspective on this. Given the fact that Sistas has been a runaway success on BET. Remember, season 1 was pre-Zatima, and Zatima just took it to a new level. I'm wondering if the 5 seasons were mapped out in regards to, okay, this is how long this show is going to last, and this is how long the Oval's going to last for as long as Tyler's current contract with Viacom is still in action, because we don't know what's going to happen when his current contract runs out. Is he going to renew? Will there be renegotiations? Like, I don't know every nook and cranny behind the scenes of the contract, what the details, have in store for him, but it seems clear to me that Tyler has far more control and free range and ability to create as much content as he would like, compared to the likes of TBS and OWN. And due to the fact that, love them or hate the shows, whatever, how you feel about it, the Tyler Perry shows have brought a different, I don't know if I should say demographic, but a different vibe to BET as a whole. And given that he's with Viacom, he's making projects on Nickelodeon with young Dylan, and I don't think the contract restrains him from being able to work for outside companies, hence why he's able to do Netflix movies. And what is he, like the producer, executive producer? I forgot his exact role, but he's playing a part in the making of Sister Act 3. So part of me doesn't see why Tyler wouldn't renegotiate with Viacom. But then again, like I said, I'm not behind those closed doors, so I don't know what's going on. But with Sistas being as huge as it is, I'm just wondering if season 5 is the last season. Or is it the last season of the original blueprints of the contract? Hey, Tyler, we need you to make X amount of episodes of television during your current contract, and then if we renegotiate, then you can do more. But I don't know. This seems very interesting. I am curious to see what's going to happen. Look, I know Devale literally said, and I'll say it for like the 4th time in the video, at the end of season 1, Zach's character was going to go through an ascension throughout the 5 seasons. So let me throw it out there for the haves and the have-not fans. The show, look, I'm not going to lie, it's been so long since I mapped this out, because I remember back in the day, like me, Chandler, Aiden, a few other people, we would talk in circles about this all the time, about how originally the show was 7 seasons long. Season 7 was the final season, but then OWN ordered more episodes, which, even though we still don't know the exact reason why, it may be the fact that OWN actually needed Tyler Perry's shows, well, specifically the haves and the have-nots, just to kind of tide them over until they were able to stand on their own 2 feet, due to the fact that, with Tyler Perry's shows gone, not a lot of people will be tuning into the OWN network anymore. Hence why we had the god-awful back half of season 7 added, and then like season 8 in general, just a bunch of filler. You basically remember when we got like 30 new characters out of nowhere, and even the main characters who used to pop up in every episode started to take extended absences. That's why, because of a lot of the ridiculous, filler characters to stretch out the story. So I'm wondering if Sisters could get new life, maybe a season 6 or 7. But I will say this right here. This could also explain why there has been a big hiatus here, between the first half of season 4 and the back half of season 4, because as I theorize, if they're stretching out the show like, this much with what, a 3-4 month break in between both half of the same seasons, I guess when the show or season 4 ends in September, we're probably going to have another extended hiatus sometime between September and maybe January, because it makes sense to keep season 5 until 2023, Thankfully, we're not having those 6-month breaks like we did with the haves and the have-nots. That was just ridiculous. After season 6 to season 7, it was like a 6-month break. But I'm willing to bet that the fans might actually be able to, rally together, because let's be honest here, it really depends on season 5, how good it is, but then on the same token, how well Zatima is received, because season 1 is 10 episodes, and then there's another video I'll do where I talk about how this article reveals the time or the length of each episode, and it will shock you. But I will say this. If Sisters is only 5 seasons, I'm going to have to find another hit show to review, because I'm like, okay, Tyler, if you got another show down the pipeline, I really hope it's as good as Sisters, because, it's going to be tough. Because like I said before, the haves and the have-nots, I still feel it's the flagship of Tyler Perry shows. Don't get me wrong. House of Pain, phenomenal. The original series on TBS. But the haves and the have-nots gave people a different perspective of Tyler writing, especially the first 3 seasons. Sisters, despite the controversy of a black man writing a show about black women, it's the conversations that stem from the character interactions that has the show being as successful as it is. And if Zatima takes off, I highly doubt that it's only going to be a 1-season show. So let me just say this much. We should cherish the Sisters we have left. The back half of season 4 and then the entirety of season 5, which wrapped up filming, what was it, earlier this month, or it was last month. If there's any news, I'll let you know. And given that the channel is as big as it is now, trust and believe, I will be more than willing to help a movement if the show does indeed end. But like I said before, a couple things. If the show has a satisfying ending, I will let it go. It's kind of like, I'd rather a show end on a good note as opposed to not end and just drag through the mud, kind of like the haves and the have-nots did. I pray that the final episode, we don't get a bloody massacre like the haves and the have-nots. What's the point of killing everybody off? I will say this, I am kind of optimistic that if the show is only 5 seasons, Tyler will do right by us fans and give us a satisfying conclusion. Sure, maybe Sistas is the end of that group of characters, but Zatima carries on the story. But it really depends on timeline continuity, yada, yada, yada. But that's another topic for another day. So, it's amazing to get almost 15 minutes from a one sentence of a paragraph. But yeah, those are my thoughts as to if the show is ending after 5 seasons. When I go back and look through the behind the scenes of season 5 stuff, it actually does feel like, oh shit, this is finale. You know, like from the cast getting gifts and all the different interactions online. It does feel like it was the final hurrah. But at the very least, if it is the final season, remember I did the math before. What was the video I did about Ebony Obsidian confirming her appearance in season 5? Yeah. At least the show will be at 100 plus episodes. Now, this also makes me think the Oval is quite possibly 5 seasons as well, but you all know how I feel about the Oval as of season 3, but that's neither here nor there. So, with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Take a moment to, talk about it. Do you feel like this confirms that Sistas is only 5 seasons long? If it is, what do you think about it? Do you wish it would go longer? Do you think it's run its course? I'm very curious to see what else Tyler has up his sleeve, though, because Sistas was such a hit. It really was. And I wonder what's next. Is it just going to be Zatima or what? Hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Hit subscribe and hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel.